Hi. So today we're going to make sauerkraut. We were watching Art and BRI, the Homestead channel, and he had invited everyone or anyone to kind of do a fermentation along with them. So we're going to do that today. Show you what we've learned, and you know, this is in the era of the discovery of the biome and probiotics, and how important it is. It's probably the biggest revolution since penicillin in medicine. So that's what we're going to do today, and the very first step is to make sure that everything is very clean. So we're going to wash everything really well, and because you don't want to introduce the bad bacteria in with the good bacteria, or you want to minimize that, you know, as much as possible. So now that everything is very clean, including my hands, our next step is to take, we're going to do 2 pounds of cabbage, and the recipe I'm following would require 1 teaspoon of, they say kosher salt, but we're going to do Celtic sea salt. So we're going to crush up some of that in the mortise and pestle, and then add that to 6 cups of clean fresh water. Okay, so we're going to use, we have a fermentation pot, a nice one that we got, you know, for Christmas, but we're not going to use that today because it's a little too big, so we're going to use a ball jar. And you can just use this, you know, there's a ½ gallon, whatever brand, but these are very, very modular and so easier to put in the fridge and move around, etc. And that's really all we need for that. We're just doing 2 pounds of cabbage. Okay, so now we have our cabbage here, and we're going to shred it and then weigh it to 2 pounds. Don't forget to zero out your scale. Take the weight of the plate and then hit 0 on your scale. 0 buttons here. And now it'll ignore the weight of the plate. And now we can see how much. £1.3, got to keep going. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. It's just saying 1.4 now. You gotta keep going. Shredding is the worst part of it. Alright, so I've shredded the last of the cabbage. I hope it is enough for 2 pounds. We'll see. 1 pound 12 ounces, not 1.5. Now I know how to use the scale. So it looks like it's just at 2. We're just gonna call it the rest of this, and so it'd be close to 2, probably just over 2 pounds. All right, so that is the worst part of it, the shredding. Okay, so we need to mix into the shredded cabbage. For 2 pounds, we need 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon of salt. Kosher or Celtic sea salt or Himalayan, whatever you prefer. It's also good to keep washing your hands throughout the process. So now you would thoroughly mix the salt in with your hands. So the salt will naturally draw out some of the water. You'll see that you're going to get a good amount of water. So I'm just going to put this into the ball jar now and see what kind of juice we get. Okay, so as you can see, 2 pounds is just enough for a half-gallon mason jar or ball jar. Now we need a brine to kind of fill this up, and so it would cover the top. And your ratio is probably, I have in here 4 cups. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons, so about 1 teaspoon per 2 cups of water for the brine. So with something very clean, you want to start salt. Some recipes might have you boil it, which the salt really diffuses really well that way, but you have to wait for it to cool down or put it in the freezer or something because you don't want to kill all the good bacteria. So I'm not sure how much of this will really go up here, so we're just going to fill it. Let's see where it goes. So you want to smush it down and compact it as much as you can. Then you need to make a cover and a weight. Now something that'll fit in a jar is a hot pepper jar, and yes, I will be making hot pepper sauce this summer. And then I like to use a cabbage leaf just as a way of pushing it all down because it's an imperfect shape. If you have the very tiny little ball jars, which I just can't find one right now, of course, I believe they'll fit. Not these guys, but the really small ones that you might find jelly in. I think they'll fit right in there. Leaf or two of cabbage. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Now you have to store this into a dark cabinet, and I'm going to use the Lazy Susan because we almost never use that. So I'm just going to put it in here. Oh, now that it doesn't fit, there we go. So there we go, it's put to sleep for the night, and I'm probably going to check it tomorrow. I'm probably going to check it each day to see what the flavor's like. Probably take about a week usually, I think, and but that's up to you. If you taste it every day, see what level of fermentation you like. I personally really like to just have it with hot dogs and a hot mustard. Perfect. We'll put a link to a recipe in the description. So that was a lot of fun. You can do it too. Just follow those simple steps and get your ratios right and make sure everything's clean just to reduce the bad bacteria. So have fun. Peace and love.